Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. I don't know why I paused like that. Welcome to Wednesday Night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
Hey.
And our cool t-shirts we got yesterday from local 515 in Miami VA. And we just wanted to give a shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
The AFGE VA president there. A shout out to retired president Jennifer Turnbull and Vice President Dwight. So thank you for our cute AFGE shirts, and we're going to be representing that tonight. So Chris's phone isn't working, so that's why it's coming off of my phone tonight. So I won't be able to share as much as I want to. So take a quick minute and share.
Yeah, we need some help.
Please hold your questions for at least 5 minutes so we can go through housekeeping, and then tonight we're doing Q&A. You ask, we answer. So, housekeeping.
Yeah, so we've been, it feels like everywhere.
And we look like a piece of today because we have been busy.
I think I look good.
I look like a piece of because we've
Anyways.
been busy.
Yeah, so we've been all over, but yeah, we were just in Miami yesterday, and Dr. Henry was with us from Fort Lauderdale. Dr. Giuliani from Miami was there with us, and it was a really fun time. We were able to help a lot of people, and it's just amazing to me how many VA employees are in desperate need of this help. So, I commend the union leadership of AFGE, and specifically there at the Miami VA, for making that happen. Because there's a lot of people going through some serious problems there. And it's not unlike what you're all going through. You all, when you have a work injury, you're going through some really terrible things. And, but it was sad to see everything that can go wrong.
Oh, man.
By just not knowing the rules, not knowing what to do, not knowing the first step in getting a claim going. Man, it can just be devastating for someone's life. And many of you know this because you've gone through it. But you, fortunately, made it through to the other side for the most part and have won it. Just like all these people, I think, at the VA will, too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna stay with them, and we want to stay with all of you. So if you're, part of the union leadership and you're local, let us know. We'd love to come and help the way we did yesterday at the Miami VA.
And those of you, we will be back in South Florida again. This time we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale at the VA outpatient clinic there.
In 2 weeks, right?
I think it has about quite 150 people, employees or less. But yesterday, the stories we heard were very, very disturbing. Some of them were more disturbing than the things we hear with USPS. And we just had to sit back and say, oh my gosh, that we can't believe this is happening in the VA like that.
But the good news was there was nobody there that we couldn't help.
Yeah.
Everyone that had a problem had problems that we knew how to solve. And, that's a lesson to all of you. That's what we're here for. So if you have a problem related to workers' comp, we're likely able to solve it. So don't just suffer through it. There's help, and that's us. So people are coming on saying hello. Portal Maria, Tammy.
Yeah, we see
Tanya's
them.
on. Thank you, everybody, for being on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, so tonight we're representing AFGE Local 515 in Miami at the Miami VA. So again, thank you. And we are actually, another part of the book that Chris is going to be doing in the third book is stories of things that have happened to people. And one particular story, we're not going to talk about it live, but one particular story of one of the nurses there was the most heartbreaking story ever.
Worst thing I ever heard.
I couldn't believe it, what the supervisor told this employee
Yeah.
not to do, and it was sad.
That supervisor deserves their very own woodshed just for themselves.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen. So Ron Speakman's on. Hi, Ron. Thanks for being here, as always.
Yes, hello from Jersey 07047. 07.
So,
I'm trying to think where in Jersey that is because I used to live there. I'm just trying to think. Mine was 07080, or is that my aunt's? Anyway, yeah. All right, so did you have anything to
Yeah,
say?
I did. So more housekeeping stuff. So next week we're going to be in Redondo Beach, California, the whole week. We fly in Sunday night and fly out what day?
Thursday.
So almost the whole week.
Yeah, we won't be on live next week.
Yeah, I just don't think it'll be possible. So get your questions in tonight. But if you're in the area where we're going to be in Redondo Beach, please come by. We're going to be doing a open house meet and greet at the doctor's office, and we're really excited to be able to meet a bunch of you. We've been talking to you and helping you, online for years, but now we finally have an opportunity, at least in this one California office, to help you in person. So we're really excited about being able to meet you out there. And then the week after that, we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, like she just said, helping out the VA at the Fort Lauderdale, in Fort Lauderdale. And then we're going to be in Manhattan,
and the weekend before that, we're going to go back to another Chiro convention with another group and try to recruit some more doctors for you guys. So
yeah,
hang in, those of you that are looking at everything and don't find your city. We did add some locations onto our location map. There's an Ohio office there. I can't remember where. And we have
it's outside of Columbus.
Yeah, and then Dr. Hawkins's office in Redondo Beach, her info will be on there. And
It is on there.
Okay, in another 2 weeks, we'll have the Manhattan office. If we put it on there, they're just going to have
They're going to get overrun, and they're not
ready yet. Yeah,
No,
so
they just started the
couple more
training.
weeks.
But we got a lead of a lady today that in New York that really, really needs our help. Rich Ray called him. He and I talked for quite a while. So we are going to go ahead and help her and use that for training. So
yes.
It's going to be a good opportunity for everyone, but we're going to be able to start helping people in New York like we're going to be doing in California. So Tish is on. What's up, Tish?
She said, love your shirts. She's from Local 548.
That's right.
But Tish, this is what Jeff gave us yesterday. We love it.
Where's my 548 shirt?
We do have one.
No, I'm asking where is it?
In the closet.
Okay.
All right. Dr. Cooper is on.
Hey, Dr. Cooper.
He says, can you cover the importance of FIC in a car accident, slip and fall, or any personal injury while working? Why they need to contact you or FIC provider before calling a PI attorney? Like we tell you guys, Don't reach out to your local PI attorney. We tell you to call Eric Blowers. You're not going to be happy if you call the local PI attorney. And we're not bashing the local PI attorneys.
Not
it's
at all.
just they don't understand federal work comp. We always tell you, call the police, call your supervisor, get pictures, driver's license, insurance. Once that's taken care of, go home. Or after if it's that bad, going to the ambulance and hospital, go home. Get your CA1, your CA16, CA17. Contact Eric Blowers right away, and then contact one of the doctors, any doctor that you want. So we do have a video on PI stuff that we did, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, federal personal injury with dog bites and things like that.
But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll have that be the first question, and I'll handle it. So third-party injuries are like personal injuries. You're in a car wreck while working. This happens a lot to mail carriers, but it happens to other people too who drive in the course of business. And other things can lead to third-party injuries. What it means basically is that it was caused by someone else's fault. Someone else was at fault. But usually it's car wrecks. Well, Department of Labor requires you in those instances to sue the third party. In other words, get the insurance like you would any other car wreck, and then pursue the third party. That means you're going to need a lawyer. I don't recommend trying to do it without one. And that means you're going to try to want to buy or call a PI lawyer in your area. That'll be your first and biggest mistake. It'll kill your whole case. So don't do that. You have to contact a federal lawyer. We, of course, recommend Eric Blowers because he, I think, is the best in the world at doing these cases. So if you want his information, I'm sure somebody's going to post it here pretty soon. And I don't know who's here. Anyways, so you're required to pursue the third party, but by doing so, you get to keep at minimum 20% of the settlement after legal fees. And I'm writing in my third book a new chapter on third-party claims. In fact, Eric Blowers is going to be a co-author of the book because he's going to write that chapter for me. He's going to write at least a good portion of it. And we'll be talking a lot more about it. But whatever you do, do not call a local PI lawyer.
Yeah.
You got to contact a federal lawyer who understands workers' comp.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get into the questions again.
And I didn't mention the books, but here they are, breakingowcp.com if you want your own copies.
Okay. I think I'll get to that question. Yeah. So AFGE is one of the, oh my God, I'm blanking out. Unions, American Federation of Government Employees.
They have over 700,000 members nationwide. It's pretty big.
Yeah. So, and they love us all the way from national down to all the locals, and we're so humbled that we get to go and educate them at any of their unions. So
yep,
we're thankful to that. All right, Victor, thank you for everything you both do. Solidarity.
That's right.
And all the doctors from our federal injury centers that are on here, you'll see them post their who they are, their address, and their phone number, so you guys could reach out and call them, schedule your own appointment. And just a little disclaimer, if you are not a federal injury center's doctor and don't have approval, if you're an outside vendor, please don't post your information on our page.
Yeah, that happens, and we're not trying to be rude to these other doctors or to you by any stretch, but when other doctors or you come on and promote doctors that aren't associated with federal injury centers, the danger is it's not a competition thing, okay? For me, we need more help, not less, so I'm grateful there's other doctors that do this. But I don't know to what extent they're trained to do it. And so I don't like to have any doctors promoted on this page that I didn't train myself. That's the bottom line. I just want to make sure that you are getting the very best. And so we don't recommend doctors outside of our own network.
Yeah, and any other vendor. So please contact us privately and see. You need to get approval before we do something like that. All right. First
question. By the way, the reason that is this isn't a sales page.
Yeah.
So we don't need that. This is an education page. It's free to everybody, and that's how it's going to stay. All right, go ahead.
Tonight is Q&A. I'm sorry, my phone is streaming and I can't share tonight. So please take the opportunity to share. Don't forget to follow. And the more you share, you could be September's share winner of a $100 gift card. All right, Portal Maria. If we take sick leave instead of LWOP for doctor's visits, can we get the sick day back should work comp case gets accepted?
Yeah, it's called leave buyback, and you need a form CA7B to go along with your 7 and 7A most likely. All of these forms can be found at federalinjurycenters.com in the forms tab, and you can download them there and begin filling them out. But yeah, that's how you do that with the CA7B, which is leave buyback.
David Pinero says, I just saw a letter on eComp from my case nurse manager letting me know that Department of Labor closed my nurse case management. What does that mean?
What? I saw a letter on eComp from my case, letting me know that the Department of Labor closed my nurse case management. I guess that just means that DOL no longer thinks you need a nurse case manager. That's okay.
First time here, Tammy Waters, do you have patient advocate doctors versus insurance advocate?
Well, we're not okay, look, number one, there's only one way to do this. It's to follow the rules, do everything clean and proper. With that said, we're not a company doctor. We don't advocate for the insurance. All of our doctors are 100% here for you.
Yeah. Arlene, so AFGE means American Federation of Government Employees. It's the people at the prison, it's the employees at the base, it's the VA hospital,
TSA.
the nurses, TSA,
Yep.
Social Security, and anything with a 3-letter.
Almost everybody that's not a postal employee.
Yeah, but that's federal.
Yeah.
Ralph Gonzalez says, can I retire while still on OWCP? And does my comp stop when the retirement is finalized? Or can I retire and still be paid by DOL until I'm off OWCP?
If you retire, you will no longer be able to be paid to be off of work because you've retired. But you can still get medical benefits. And you can still, get the attention you need medically to get better. But once you're retired, OWCP is not going to pay you to be off of work because you're off of work. Permanently.
Yeah. Danielle Brown, she said, I got my books this week. Awesome.
Good.
Lori Hotop. Oh my gosh. What is his retainer fee for Eric Blowers?
All right, so we don't really speak for him,
Yeah.
and I truthfully don't know what his fees are. I know his fees are generally cheaper than everyone else's, and it depends on what the case type is. I know that a third-party claim, like a personal injury claim, is going to probably be different than something else. But if you'll call, you'll be able to talk to them, and they'll let you know. Oftentimes, anyways, they'll tell you don't even need a lawyer. So he's a really good guy to work with because he won't just take your money for nothing.
Steven Simons says, looking for doctors who know how to do an impairment rating, 6th edition, close to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All of our doctors are being required now to get trained to do 6th edition impairment ratings. I don't know anybody in Chattanooga who can do it, but I know that shortly you'd be able to go to Memphis. But also, you can look at our website, federalinjurycenters.com. This goes to everybody. There's a locations tab, and if you click the map of locations, you can see all of our locations, and there may be somebody that is close to you that makes sense. And if so, you'll be able to call their phone number directly. It's listed there and talk to them.
Matthew said, if my current doctor says my back problem is a result of the job, then I contact the federal injury centers. Well, yeah, you definitely need to file your form, and then you can go on our website to find a federal injury center doctor. It's your choice.
Yeah, you don't have to come to federal injury centers doctor, and nobody has to use our doctors to come here and get my help. Okay, we're going to do this no matter what. You don't have to do that. But your first step is to go to the supervisor and fill out your form, CA1 or CA2, and then take those forms, copies of everything, to your doctor. Whichever doctor you choose is your right as a federal employee. So you choose your doctor. If it happens to be one of ours, we'll be happy to help you and we'll do a good job. But it is your choice, and we don't like to get in the way of that.
Victor Sanchez. Okay, so we're in the works with a doctor in Central Florida. He should be up and going before the end of the year. Crossing our fingers in the Orlando area. John Stevens, how do I get my doctor to note MMI in case notes so my attorney can get me rated?
Well, okay, the doctor has to do the impairment rating in the first place. So your doctor's got to say that you're at MMI, which is maximum medical improvement. That's a medical decision that your attorney can't make. And if you're not at MMI, the doctor shouldn't say you are, because that means you could still get better. But if the doctor puts you at MMI, that's who does the impairment rating. And if your doctor can't do the impairment rating, you have to find one that can, because even the best attorney can't sign a doctor's signature to an impairment rating.
Yep, Ms. Brown said, with a CA7B, mean workers' comp buys them back for you?
Well, unfortunately, it means you buy it back. You want your time back. It's not free, is what they're saying.
Arlene said, what steps can be taken when your supervisor did not send in your paperwork in time to OWCP?
Well, you definitely go file a grievance with your union. 100% file a grievance. And, go from there. But you may have an OSHA claim because they're not letting you report your injury. And OSHA says you have a right to report work injuries.
Kim Davis, hey Kim.
Okay.
I completed a CA2 through eComp for my shoulder, possible rotator cuff tear. It was sent to my manager. What if she doesn't sign it?
Well, I mean, she's in violation of law. She's required to sign it. The law 100% says that the supervisor shall fill it out and give you copies of everything. So file a grievance. They're definitely in violation of the law. And if they don't sign it, they're technically not letting you report your injury. The only way to report an injury is with a CA1 or CA2. So if they won't sign it, you're not able to officially report it. So I'd also contact OSHA.
Pook Dilla said, can you put... His phone is so weird today. The messages disappear. Can you put in for a schedule award for a closed case?
Yes, as long as you're still alive, you can get a schedule award.
Tammy, we do have a doctor in North Carolina. Go on our website and you'll be able to find all their information if that's what you choose.
It's Charlotte, just so you know.
Dr. Krishma is on.
Hey, from Miami.
She said, hi, Federal Injury Centers fam. I'm Dr. Giuliani in Miami.
Angie's on with Dr. Hawkins' office, and I can see they're saying they're looking forward to meeting everybody next week.
Awesome.
We are too. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Lori says, my workers' comp never compensated me for the full hours I worked. They only paid me 22 hours instead of 34 plus week. Look at, that was your...
That's weird.
They only paid me for 22.
Okay, I'm going to read it. They only paid me for 22 hours instead of the 34 plus that I worked. What can I do about this? Well, okay, so you've got to document your time on a CA7 and 7A. So you were on the clock and off the clock some. So you need to document fully that you were on the clock, or you should have been on the clock for 34 plus hours. If they only paid you for the 22, then we got to look at it, and you have to call your claims examiner and find out why where the other 12 hours go.
All right, sorry. He has the fan so high my throat is dry.
God.
Just saying.
Here.
Not right now. Renee Marie said, I've discussed with my caseworker the issues I've been having in my area getting doctors willing to accept OWCP at all, and then to write narratives or follow through all my paperwork, and asked if my current doctor does not handle things, if I could go to another doctor out of state that was trained to handle this correctly, and was given a tentative yes. What besides a letter to change treating doctor would you recommend having ready ahead? Will they prepay for lodging and travel, or only after the fact? Okay, so they won't prepay, they'll pay after the fact. You should get pre-authorization by calling your claims examiner and saying, I'm going to have these expenses, will you cover it? As far as changing doctors, a change of treating doctor letter is definitely necessary. And you could even potentially get your doctor to write a referral to the other doctor, the new doctor. Or you can ask your doctor to write a letter to the claims examiner requesting that they be removed from your case. All right, I'll just sweat and we'll turn this off so you can breathe. Arlene said, can you discuss... I don't know what's going on with Chris's phone. Can you discuss workplace harassment and imported relationships and what to do with OWCP in a case like this? Yeah, I mean, if you're being harassed, have your union do stuff about it so they can file complaints. You can file EEO complaints, you can file grievances, there's maybe even labor board charges you can file. It's also against the law. It's a crime to do anything to prevent you from reporting an injury. Harassment would definitely fall into a category of things that would prevent you from reporting an injury. So you may want to contact OSHA. But in all cases, you're going to hear me repeat myself. Grievance, OSHA, EEO, labor board charges. Those are 4 very powerful things you can do, and sometimes you can do them all. I'm all right, Dr. Rubin. Thanks. Just my throat got super dry there. I'm not. I'm really hot, so I'm going to need more ice stuff to drink. Sonia Summer says, I need information on rights of bidding as limited duty employee. I can work full-time duties in the new bid area, but can only work 4.0 hours per day. The agency denied my medical documentation to perform duties in the new bid base on short hours. We don't do that, right? Hold on. I need information on So, look, I'm sorry about this, but when some of the messages are long, I have to reread them. So just give me a second. I need information on rights of bidding as a limited duty employee. I can work full duties in the new bid area, but only can work 4 hours per day. The agency denied my medical documentation to perform duties in the new bid base or short hours. Okay, as far as this goes, this is a union issue. You're going to have to go and talk to them about, this job that you bid on. That's really not an OWCP thing, unfortunately. From the medical side, we write CA-17s that can get you back to work with limitations or full duty, but it's up to the agency to find jobs that work inside those limitations. And, if they're not, it just sounds like you're not being treated fair. I would go to the union and have them help you. Poop Dilla said, my message disappeared because they listening missed my comment about hit and running. You're going to have to retype in your message. Victor Sanchez says, I love EEOs. USPS management hates EEOs. And that's kind of what I like about it, Victor, that they hate it. And somebody said, Porto Maria said, I thought OSHA was just for safety hazard issues. I know that's what everybody thinks, but they're the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. They're there to keep you safe. If they have on their website a list of 9 employee rights, the 6th right is the right to report a work injury. Yep. They specify that on their website, and then they have a place on their page, on a web page there, that says that it's a crime to prevent you from exercising your rights. Well, one of your rights is to report a work injury. That's why I always say contact OSHA. Ms. Rowland said, how do I get my vacation or sick leave hours back if I was put in for vacation leave or sick leave when it was supposed to be put in for OWCP.
Yeah, I know. So you first have to get your claim accepted. Once your claim's accepted, then you go back and you account for all your sick and annual leave on a CA7 and 7B, which is leave buyback.
Hi guys, I'm now on the East Coast, but OWCP doctor in Colorado. I've been OWCP. Eric Reen, I'm sorry because you're not a part of Federal Injury Centers. You can't promote yourself on this page.
But we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Okay. I don't know how to do the inbox thing. Are you talking about sending us a personal message?
It's on Messenger, just Facebook Messenger.
You just go right up after you get out of our chat. After the chat is done, you just go into Messenger. You can either do it if you don't have my personal page, Wednesday Night Chats, or Chris's, message us.
Yeah.
That's it so far.
Come on, there's got to be more questions.
You know what's happening is because I didn't share my thousands of shares, and so this is why we only have this amount of people. But I love the way you guys are interacting with each other. And Ron Speakman, if those of you know Ron Speakman, he's out there answering lots of questions.
Yeah, Ron's great.
Okay. Let's sit here and stare at the camera.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about, I don't even know what. This is Q&A night, so I didn't prepare a topic, but I'm sure you've got to have some more questions.
Yeah, those of you in California, don't forget, Tuesday, October 12th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is our open house. We're going to be there. You get to meet Dr. Hawkins and her staff, tour the office. There's going to be some drinks and appetizers, so come on and have some fun. We're really excited.
Ashley said, what's in the cup? It's empty. There's nothing in the cup.
Renee said, go over your top tips, Chris.
Okay, so I actually love that. Where's my paper from yesterday? No, it's okay. I got to memorize. So I had my a draft of my third book with me yesterday because there's a page in there that I thought was so important. I was using it to do my class yesterday at the VA. My top tips are these. There's 6 of them. Let me see if I can remember them all. Number 1 is report your injury immediately. When is the soonest possible time to do anything? Hello?
Now.
Thank you. Now, so the soonest possible time to report your injury is now. This CA10 says as soon as possible, which means something different to different people. When you report now, you don't lose any benefits. So report now is number 1. Number 2 is demand a CA16. Because when you have a CA16, all of your medical bills are paid for the first 60 days, and you never have to pay it back, even if your case isn't approved. Number 3 is get continuation of pay. People are scared of it. They are worried they'll have to pay it back. At Federal Injury Centers, we've never had a single patient ever pay it back. Ever. Okay? So, we're not worried about that. So, COP. The reason I have report now, CA16 and COP is 1, 2, and 3, is because when you report now, you don't lose those 2 benefits. Because you have 7 days to report and get a 16, and you have 30 days to report and get COP, which is 45 days of time off, continuation of pay. When people don't have a CA16 or continuation of pay, they end up spiraling out of control financially. Their life just goes all sideways because they can't work, they're not getting paid, they can't pay their mortgage, their car payments, whatever, and they can't afford their medical bills because their claim isn't accepted. So do those 3 things first. The 4th thing was, what was the 4th thing? Look, it's just my book. But those are the top 3 things. Seriously, if everybody would just report now, demand a 16, and get COP, your life would be so much better. Oh, choose your own doctor. That's number 4. Don't let your supervisor choose for you, because the number 1 reason claims get denied is bad doctors or bad reports. Great doctors can write bad reports. We don't. We write great reports. But you need those reports written by a really good doctor.
Tanya said, let's talk about how being an injured federal employee makes you feel like you have Tourette's.
Yeah, I know. Look, we see it. This is why we're so, so involved in this system with work injuries, that we see all the devastation that happens after someone gets hurt, and it's all avoidable. Like, you can literally avoid all the problems by just understanding the rules. That's why I've written these 2 books. All the rules that you need are in there, and if you just know what's in there, you have a way better chance of winning this fight. And you're in a fight. Don't think you're not. When you get hurt, bad things happen. I heard about a lady today who the supervisor didn't give her, and that's the fifth thing, get copies of everything. Supervisor didn't give her the second page of the CA1. I guarantee you that supervisor said something negative on that page and doesn't want her to see it. So you have to demand copies of everything. If you have this book, you know that the rule that they have to give you copies of everything is in there. So know the rules. It's really, really important. But we can avoid a lot of these problems just by knowing what's going on. And I commend you all for being here and trying to learn this stuff.
Poop Dilla said, sorry, Jeannie, but speaking on car wrecks and going after third party, in my case, it was a hit and run. So
yeah.
You still need to call a federal attorney.
You definitely do. There are things that you can do. There's, uninsured, underinsured motorist. There are things you can do to make that right. So I would still call that federal lawyer.
Yeah, and what you just need to do, if you have uninsured motorists, the insurance will just go after your own insurance. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. That's why you pay for uninsured motorists, for people who don't have auto insurance or people who do hit and run. My advice for hit and run, wherever you were, see if any of the stores, because a lot of the stores now have cameras, and a lot of the lights, the red light has camera, so you may be able to get a license plate.
And the police should be able to help you with that too. So hopefully you filed a police report.
Always, no matter what, if it's a hit and run or the other person tries to get away, always call the police. Arlene said, is there a deadline to request your time back or ask for co-pays to be returned after the case is approved?
No, once your case is approved, you can go all the way back to day one. There's no time frame. They don't say, well, you have 30 days or whatever. Take all the time you need to go fill out your OWCP 915s so you can get paid back for the money you spent, and the 957s so you can get reimbursed for mileage, and fill out your CA7s and those forms so you can get paid for your time off, and you can go back to day one.
Stacy Mullins said, I was injured December 6, 2020, auto accident on my way to work. On way to work. My PM was instructed by the MPOO not to allow me to file. What?
No, that's actually, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, on her way to work.
That's
right.
by the book. So you're not covered under OWCP until you get to work. And I mean when you get there. So let's say you get to work at a reasonable time prior to clocking in. That's 30 minutes is a reasonable time. Once you're in the parking lot, you start to be covered. But just driving to work, you're not covered. Now, let's say you get to work and then you have to drive someplace else during work. You would be covered if you had an accident then. But you're definitely not going to be covered for an accident on the way to work.
Renee Marie said, who exactly should have your medical information and be discussing it? There have been many posts in different groups about documents being left visible to any in the office or management discussions. So
that's a violation of HIPAA and the Privacy Act, and those are grievable situations. I would definitely go grieve it. Who should have that? Nobody. In fact, your supervisors only have a right to a CA-17 and a CA-20. They don't have a right to any other medical information from you. If they ask you for it, you don't have to give it to them. They can request a CA-20 and a CA-17, and that's all the information that they are allowed to have. And they're also not allowed to call your doctor, but they do it all the time. But when they call the doctor, they're violating another rule, so file a grievance. Your supervisors don't have any business being in your injury case. Their whole job is to fill the forms out and get the heck out of the way. That's it.
I love you guys. I'm not laughing at you, Barbara. I love you guys. I bought your book because I've been a carrier with USPS for 20 plus years. I just had my first on-the-job injury. Because of you, I knew what to do. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate that. You know what? Tell everybody. Let me read this. No, I'm not doing that.
Stacy said, I have not been paid since July 3rd, 2021, and the post office knows that I was wrecked on the way to work and my health insurance is covering everything.
I'm sorry. What? That threw me off.
This one.
I haven't been paid since July 3rd, 2021, and the post office knows that I wrecked on the way to work and my health insurance is covering everything. Yeah, if it was on the way to work, unfortunately, there's just no way to get that covered by OWCP. There's just not. I'm sorry. I want to say that you can, but you can't.
Tammy said, I was treating in Texas, had a great doctor. My doctor is putting bad comments in my file. How can I have those refuted?
What the heck kind of doctor puts bad stuff in their own patients' files?
Tammy, let me tell you something. Tammy and Stacy, you guys both, well, I don't know if it's Tammy, but Stacy, what you should do, even though what we said about you going to work and getting a rec, call Eric Blowers first. He will be able to give you better advice than we can on that. So hopefully he can. I was treating at a Texas doctor. My doctor's putting, I don't know.
So, Tammy Waters, do me a favor, send us a Facebook message with your phone number, and I'd like to talk to you about this. I need to just understand what the doctor's writing in there, because there are some things that sound negative that are perfectly acceptable to be there, and there are other things that are just like totally false that have no business there. So let's figure out what the situation is with you, and I'll help you out with it. I used to manage doctor's offices, so I can definitely help you with that.
Diane said, so when you have an injury you believe to be work-related, do we get forms and go to your doctors? Because my doctor screwed 2 previous injuries, won't fill out forms for them to determine it was work-related and go from there.
Yeah, listen, I can't tell you to choose our doctors. What I can tell you is that if you look at federalinjurycenters.com on the locations tab and you find one that you like, they won't hurt your case. Period. They'll do a good job.
Ashley Mark said, any plans for an Indianapolis area doctor?
There's plans to have doctors in all 50 states. That's the best answer for you. That's going to be the answer to everybody. We are not done with the numbers of offices we have now. We're not finished until there's an office within range of every federal employee nationwide.
Yeah, so you guys can always contact Eric. Maybe he knows of a doctor. Because he besides federal injury centers, he probably knows some doctors in some areas that we don't have doctors yet that could help you out. So sorry about that, Ashley. Lori said, I was told by my OWCP worker that I can't file travel payment reimbursements to travel from my current state, Missouri, to my original state, Oklahoma, to my doctor. Is that correct?
Well, it's not correct. You can definitely attempt it. There's no rule against you trying. There's a form, the OWCP 957. This is something that's important to point out. So I'm going to go to the page in my book that has this, because you can be reimbursed for those kinds of travel. Look, I've written 2 books. I just couldn't ever remember which one it's in. It's in this one. So on the OWCP 957 form, it says hotel, airfare, meals. You know, why is that stuff there if you can't use it? Why can't I find the chapter where I wrote about those? So what you do, let me just get to the end. You've got to contact your claims examiner in advance, explain the situation, and ask for permission in advance. That's called pre-authorization. They don't have to grant it, but they might grant it, and there's no rule that says that they won't, okay? So you definitely have a right to do that. Get your money back. Okay, 84.
Michelle Walter, while he's looking up that question for the other person that asked, you should not pay for your schedule award as far as going to federal injury centers doctors. None of our doctors would ever take money for a schedule award, and they are required. They are required. Are they required? What's the word? That they will have to know the 6th edition. And no, you don't have to pay anything going to our doctors. Now, as for anybody else outside of federal injury centers, I can't say.
All right, look, the OWCP 957 form has columns or categories for taxi, bus, train, tolls or parking, lodging, meaning hotels, mills, and other. So other could be airfare. My point is, you just have to contact them, your claims examiner, and ask. That's it. They may say no. But it's not an automatic no unless you don't ask.
Victor, what you said is amazing. He says, I represent 35 plus offices in the post office in Central Florida. I have one clerk that got injured while working. That's limited duty. Her supervisor conducted an investigation interview with the employee and myself. Employee received a letter of warning because management said clerk failed to follow safety protocols. I will be filing a grievance and it's going... And then the question went away. I don't know what's going on with Chris's phone.
Somebody said it. The Facebook update. It's not my phone. It's everyone's.
Yeah. So Victor, please copy and paste your stuff back because I just lost all my questions from there. I am now, just so you guys know, I am at Arlene McDuffie saying, I remember you said that you were coming to New York with a national letter carrier.
I don't know what's happening with Facebook these days.
I can't even hold it. I can't even hold the question. It goes away. Let's see. Tracy said, thank you guys for enlightening us with this great information. You're welcome. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Just take a break there. Don't get too frustrated. I have a solution for you.
Stacy said, that is not true. If I'm a POV and I'm on my work, I am covered.
Okay, anytime you're covered in a covered, whatever, anytime you're at work, you're covered.
Yeah, on your way to work, as far as we know, you're not covered. Crystal Hernandez says, oh, this is not going to work at all.
Try. Okay. Give her just a second to regroup here, and we're going to try a different device so we can read your questions. This new Facebook update has...
Is it muted?
Yeah, I've already muted it. And there's all your questions.
Okay, here we go, Victor.
Boom. Problem solved.
I can't believe this happened. All right, Victor says, I represent 35 plus offices in the post office in Central Florida. That's the Orlando area. Her supervisor employee received a letter of warning because management said clerk failed to follow safety protocols. I will be filing a grievance and it's going to win in a case in favor of the employees. Supervisors don't know what they're doing. That's why I've been a shop steward for APW since 2004.
Well, Victor, we're glad you're with us, and we're with you too.
Renee, I did that and it still disappeared. So I know that's what I've been doing. I'm so sorry, guys. And now I can't see.
We're not that sorry because we're not the creators of Facebook. But if I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'd fix this problem.
All right, Stacy's, and now I can't. They won't stay. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. This is so stupid. Okay, I have to do this. Stacy said, I'm covered. I was on my way to work. If you're driving your work vehicle, you are allowed to file. I have filed after talking to Eric.
Okay, great. Well, that's she's probably a rural carrier. That's, yeah. Well,
yeah. For that, if you're a rural carrier, you didn't say that at the beginning, but if
because
Eric
that definitely
said
that wouldn't apply to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
if you worked at the VA and you're driving to work and you get in a wreck, you're not going to be covered.
or city carriers.
But if you're an FBI agent and you're always in the car, always on duty, then you could be covered. So, yeah.
Okay, so Obama Edwards said rural carriers are covered from the time they leave their home. Okay, to the post office, provided they didn't stop somewhere else.
All
Okay.
right.
Any updates on your visit to New York? Okay, so yes, at the month end, we are coming to New York. We will be putting out a flyer in the next week. We're just trying to get through
Fort Lauderdale
our
and
California trip, and I will be creating that. And
Yep.
still have to get all the...
But we're definitely coming. We've already bought our plane tickets. We're all set. We'll be there.
Pook Dilla said, sorry, me again. Hit and run, was on duty and case is good. Haven't been denied anything in 3 years, except now for an MRI on my neck after I had cuff surgery 1 year ago, but other car had stolen plates and am I stuck at the will of due? Like I said, please call Eric Blowers. He'll give you more information on that.
Yeah, but even if you're not able to have a third party to pursue, you still get to get help. You're not going to be penalized because it was a hit and run. You don't have to worry about that. You're going to get help like anybody else would. The point is that if there's a third party that you can sue, then you also get to get paid. That's what you're going to be missing.
Yeah. Crystal Hernandez. Yes, sometimes you guys are talking to me or sometimes you're talking to one of the girls that are answering the messages. I'm not always on there because that's their job, but I do let you know if it is me. I have some doctors and hospitals turning my bills into collections after I've been approved for work comp.
You can just stop right there. I know exactly what to say. These doctors billing people don't know what they're doing. And they need to have your claim number. If your case accepted, they use your claim number to get paid. So if they don't know that, they're just making mistakes. So first call and talk to the billing department and tell them, let me give you my claim number. Department of Labor is supposed to be paying you for this. And if that doesn't work, let us
Water.
know. Let us know if it doesn't work.
Thank you. Thank you again, Jeremy Karskadden.
She just put this in her mouth with
Sorry.
the lid on it.
Jeremy Karskadden said, "Thank you again. I just received my book. I caught the part of what you were saying in the last text."
There we go.
Roll carriers, yes. Deborah Brooks, I have some doctors and hospital. Okay, I said that already. RCAs are covered on the way to work. Okay, something new that we learned. Is the information on the CA-17 considered private information, or is management allowed to leave it where anyone can see and discuss it with anyone?
They definitely should not be leaving that stuff out. It's private information. The CA-17 is a medical form.
Stacy Mullen says, "Is it a HIPAA violation for a postmaster to list my pre-existing conditions on my CA1? If yes, what should I do? EEO?"
I don't know if that's a HIPAA violation. I mean, I don't think it's a HIPAA violation. Honestly, I don't think so. I want to say it is because I'd love to be able to stick it to them, but I just don't think so.
Now, they're not allowed to discuss any personal stuff on the floor.
Right.
And I remember one of the presidents told us you contact Department of Justice for any HIPAA violation.
So there you go, DOJ.
Sasshole said, "My question disappeared." Okay, and it just disappeared from me too. We are not doing good today.
I don't know what happened. You know,
It's Facebook. I know with the
That's not
stupid
us.
update. We went into this Facebook crash for 6 hours and then everything is screwed up. Okay, here I found it. My question has disappeared. Okay. My AW told me they could not honor my LLD and they had nowhere they could put me. I heard firing me is in the works. I'm waiting on a second surgery approval. The AW said it wasn't his fault. I bid a post. I couldn't work. I choose my points based on my days off and shifts. Anyhow, my question is, can they dictate what post I can bid on? Can they fire me? Because literally 2 years later, I'm still on light duty. This is for the Bureau of Prisons.
oh.
Oh,
So
AFGE.
So they're not supposed to fire you for this, and they're supposed to find a limited duty assignment that works for you. Your specific rules at the prison, I don't know, and let me tell you what I'm trying to say. Like, there's different rules for city carriers and roll carriers, right? In the post office, how many years they can be off. Roll carriers can be off 2 years. City carriers 1, I believe. So it's different for everybody, and your agency is going to be different as well. This is a union issue completely. You've got to go to your AFGE representatives to get help on it.
Jeremy said, how do I file an EEO?
Yeah, so you go to eeoc.gov. I'm trying to see if I have that in the book. I don't believe I do. eeoc.gov, and they'll walk you through it. But they also have at EEO, they have EEO counselors. So you'll be able to call and speak to somebody, and they'll walk you through it.
Juan Lewis said, do you have any advice on how to prepare for a second opinion ordered by OWCP?
Yeah, go to your treating doctor not right now, obviously, but before the second opinion visit. Have your doctor get a current CA-17 and a current CA-20 filled out and signed by them, and also have them write a narrative explaining what's going on with your case right now. Take all three of those things to the second opinion doctor. Do not give it to the receptionist when you walk in the door. Hold on to it. Don't let anybody pry it out of your hands until you are able to hand it to the doctor. And then keep your arm out like this until the doctor takes it out of your hand. Make them take the information, because too many times they go into these second opinions, they're there for a few seconds, they don't touch you, look at you, barely even talk to you, and then they make a negative determination. Give them something to think about.
Kim Davis said, question, are we? She's a roll carrier and she didn't know that she's covered on her way to work.
Well, that was news to me. It actually surprises me, but I'll defer to the roll carriers on this page to work that out.
Crystal Hernandez said, can they AOL me if I'm not calling 800 number? I asked my union rep yesterday and he said I didn't need to.
Well, they can try to put you on AWOL, but I always recommend call the number. If you're going to be out for 4 weeks, tell them you're going to be out for 4 weeks. If it's 4 days, 4 hours, I would always let them know. Don't let them have that. So you take that away from them just by calling the number.
Sonia, you're asking us about Article 13 from the mail handlers union bidding. We don't know that stuff.
I'm really sorry. I wish I had your union contracts memorized, but there's a lot of pages in all the unions contracts.
Stacey, if you want to find out about your injury as far as driving to work, you're going to have to talk to your union about that.
Yeah.
Because this
or
like
call
we
Eric.
said, yeah, well, this is the first time we're hearing that you are covered. From time before, we didn't think you were covered.
But again, your union contract may have something special in there, but otherwise, give Eric Blowers a call.
Stacy also said, my PM does discuss my medical case on the post office floor with employees. You need to file a grievance on that.
Yeah.
That's not cool. That's not an answer. That was a question. Are RCAs covered on the way to work? Okay. At this point, we're hearing that you guys are. As far as what we know, we don't know.
Yeah, I actually thought you weren't covered on the way to work. So I'm not trying to not answer your questions. This is a Q&A night, but I don't know that answer. So you're going to have to talk to some, and there are plenty of roll carriers on this side in leadership positions in the union. So I'm sure someone here can help with that.
Kathy Jean, when are you coming to Birmingham, Alabama? If you're talking about a meet and greet, we're not sure, but we do have an office in Bessemer. So, and there's actually 4 offices in the Birmingham, in the Alabama area.
Yeah.
Let's see. Facebook shit on us right now. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Ron Speakman said, I experienced the same thing, grievance and EEO. Get a witness statement if you can. We'll hold the weight, but they can't do that. Also, document everything yourself as well as date, times, and what was said and who said it. Absolutely correct.
Yep, that's perfect advice.
Is there a time limit to call DOJ regarding HIPAA violation?
I don't know, but call them anyways.
Okay.
Sometimes there are. Sometimes I put like 30-day limits or something like that, but I would call anyways.
She said, okay.
It's an automatic no if you don't call.
Stacy said, how do I handle EEO?
By calling them, go to eeoc.gov, call and talk to an EEO counselor, and they'll walk you through it.
Crystal said, I've been calling except yesterday and today, so should I call now? Who?
I'm not sure. I don't know who you're calling.
Okay, so Stacy said she is covered. Okay, great.
People are saying some really nice things about Dr. Harper and Bessemer, too. That's nice.
Okay, Crystal said, I don't know. I'm so confused. Union rep said I didn't need to. Oh, my God. Chris Gorman said, yes, was union steward in the PADT. Or you meant past. Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like this is the worst live we've done because of Facebook. Like, it's all over the place. Even the messages on the computer are disappearing.
So normally we have the phone like set up and ready to go 30 minutes prior, right? And tonight I said, nah, it's no big deal. I'll just wait. And so 13 minutes before I turned my phone on, and the update was there. Whatever it did, I could not go live from my phone. So we had to go live from her phone. So that was problem number 1. And then when she's using my phone to read the messages now after this update are disappearing. And so now she's having to use a laptop, and I'm watching, and the messages are just moving.
I'm stopping, and it's still moving.
Facebook, it's like a conspiracy against you because they don't want you to have this information. I don't know. But, okay, I'm just kidding. Facebook, don't. That was a joke.
Jeremy Karskan said Dr. Harper is awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Harper and Dr. A.G. are awesome in Bessemer. When I look online, it says AWOL. When I look at online time, it says AWOL.
Yeah, that's a union issue. You need to take that straight to your union, Crystal.
Oh, God, there's 36 messages. What's the time frame management has in filing a CA1?
So they have 10 days from the date you guys fill it out to get it into Department of Labor. That's the rule.
In regards to COVID in city carrier,
You're really struggling.
I'm about to end this live. So
the messages keep going away.
In regards to COVID in city carrier, got COVID from supervisor in office that was told to us a week later. I got tested 5 days later due to symptoms and still have breathing issues. The state that is not pro, in fact, I got it from the supervisor. I even had direct contact.
So COVID claims are nearly automatically being approved. So you need to go on eComp, fill out your CA1 on eComp, and it even removes some of the questions that just are kind of irrelevant. You don't need those. But go on eComp and file your CA1 for COVID, and it's almost going to be automatically approved.
Sonia Summer says, why are you so proactive about union representation when it's clearly some of our problem is because the union helping the agency to discriminate your covered injuries? My question is, what is the next best step besides EEOC to address your OWCP discrimination? We always tell you to go to the union because maybe your union people, wherever you're at, are not helping you, but the ones that we know, they do help their people, and you should always go to your union first for everything. We're here about OWCP stuff, educating, and yeah, I would join a union.
Yeah.
Just because I know I'm going to be protected.
The point is, and I was talking to Rich Ray about this today out of New York, is that, yeah, look, not all union representatives are strong. That's in every walk of life. You're going to find, somebody who's weak. I'm just trying to be nice about it. But we are strong advocates of all unions because we know that unions, when they do the right job, are sort of the muscle behind you. They can do things that I can't do. When you step into a medical office, there's almost nothing they can do, but I can do everything. It's vice versa. So that's why we recommend that you use the union as one of your tools in your tool bag. As far as what else can you do, besides EEO? For discrimination, there's not a lot else if you're not filing grievances. There's file a grievance, there's EAP, employee assistance, which I think that's probably weak, but it's an option. And then there's EEO.
Ron, I'm trying to breathe. This Facebook is just, I don't know what to say. Kathy O'Toole said, I know for a fact I contracted from that supervisor on the job a year later having breathing issues. How do I pursue it?
Yeah, you have to go follow your CA1. You have 3 years to do that, so it's not too late. And just go through the questions on the eComp, and that should be good enough.
Renee said, management is supposed to fill out the requirements of the job on the left side to take to your doctor to fill out what you can do on the right. She's talking about a CA-17.
Correct.
You can't print it, and the management refused to supply information, name, manager, date, and time.
You can print it. If you go to federalinjurycenters.com, you can print a CA-17 off our forms tab.
Aw, Tammy said, y'all rock, thanks.
Thank you, Tammy.
Sorry, Tammy, we're just between Facebook and everybody saying that you can go, you can file a claim on your way to work. Like I said, that's news to us.
A couple of curveballs there tonight.
Yeah. Joanne Wicks said, I had to go on hotspot because the internet is down. Oh my gosh. Crystal Hernandez says, Facebook is crazy. I'm trying to get it all. So I've been calling 800 since injury. And the only day I didn't call was yesterday. And today I asked my rep. Yesterday he said I didn't need to keep calling the 800 number. So today when I looked online time, it said AWOL yesterday and today.
Yeah, the only thing I can suggest is that you go and get help from your union. You may have to grieve that. But it's not something I'm going to be able to do for you, unfortunately.
Daisy said, is it true only management can give you a CA-17?
It's true that you're supposed to get it from management, that HR can give it to you. But a CA-17 does start with the supervisor. In fact, the page is divided into left and right, side A, side B, and side A says supervisor. So it has to start and come from your supervisor.
Arlene McDuffie said, when management does not submit the CA1 in 10 days, what happens and what can be done?
Well, that's them not letting you file your injury. So that's where I suggest contacting OSHA and ask if that's a violation, filing a grievance, and hopefully you got a copy of everything yourself. Send it in yourself. Do whatever it takes. Don't just sit at the red light. Run the red light.
Watch your hand, please. Chris's laptop is like a desk.
Hey, I'm doing work.
Rose said, I fell, broke my hip. I was off for a year. Doctor said my hip was healed and sent me back to work. Still having issues. And how do I get a schedule award?
Well, you get a schedule award by being placed at maximum medical improvement by your doctor, which is a medical decision, MMI. And once you're at MMI, then your doctor does a 6th edition impairment rating. You attach that to your CA7 claim for compensation, select letter D, schedule award, and turn it into the claims examiner.
Portal Maria said 2 weeks, and I'm still waiting for a call back from my union.
I would not wait 2 weeks. I'd keep calling. I'd call every day.
Erica Bryant said, I love my union rep. She's very helpful. She explained to me the forms I need. The OIC didn't know anything, and HR doesn't care. Yikes.
Yeah.
Ms. Thomas said, go to your district or national office for assistance.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's talking about, the BOP.
I'm sure she is.
Kathy Jean said, meet and greet. We really need you in Birmingham, Alabama. Dr. Harper and Dr. Aggie and entire staff are wonderful. Well, we came out earlier this year for their grand reopening.
In Montgomery.
We told everybody we were going to be there. The flyer was actually out for almost a month.
But we'll be back.
We'll be back again probably next year.
I mean, by next year, we mean like really soon, right after January 1st. But we love going to Alabama. I think the people in Alabama are the nicest people in the whole country. So we'll be back. We've spent tons of time in Montgomery, in Birmingham. So we really love going there. We'll be back.
Erica Bryant said, management gave me more specific CA-17, different from the one they originally gave me heading back to work on light duty. I didn't know there was a different CA-17.
Well, they probably just gave her a second one with new information.
Chris Gorman said, had COVID in February. It was that period when we were not covered by EEL, so I can file a CA1 for the COVID illness. Got it from Work Peeps. What is eComp?
So just Google OWCP eComp, and it'll be the first thing on Google, ECOMP. So just Google that, it'll be the first thing, and then you go there, you create a profile, and that's a way for you to upload documents to your claims examiner.
They took out, Deborah Brooks said, they took out of my insurance and life insurance out of my workman's comp when it was finally approved. Now that I'm working with limited work, the post office is also going back and taking that same money out of my payroll. I've told my claims examiner, she claims she has called HR about it twice and left messages about that they're not supposed to be taking the money out yet and still taking it out.
It sounds like they're like double dipping.
All right, I hope everybody could hear me.
No, listen. Okay, so we're having significant technical difficulties, and it's after 9 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You can just leave that. Just leave it. We're done.
I know, but there's like 33 comments.
So we're going to continue answering your questions online. You'll see that we'll be posting comments to your comments. And, I don't know what to do about this. We'll have to spend some time this week with this new Facebook update and see if we can work through the bugs. But, babe, come on back over here.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to end it without you sitting here, so come back. All right, so instead of us sitting being frustrated, and she doesn't need to do this. Everything's fine.
I'm like, trying to hold his gigantic TV laptop on my lap. And
all right,
yeah.
So anyways, we're going to come back, and we'll keep answering your questions, and our staff will be answering your questions. So just because we're ending the video, we're not ending the help tonight. We're just going to take a break from the frustration of technology and then get back on it and go in and answer your questions. We really appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget to check out my website, breakingowcp.com, and get a copy of the books. Everyone that gets it only says nice things about it, so I think it's very helpful. And then if you're in Redondo Beach, come find us next week. We want to see you. We want to see you in Fort Lauderdale after that. And then for all of you folks in New York, we expect a big crowd in New York. We can't wait to see everybody up there.
Yeah. Keep your questions coming even though we end it. You can still go back into the live once we post it. And just give us a few minutes to get everything done. And Chris and I will go ahead and answer the questions that we haven't answered on here. We're sorry. Ever since yesterday, Facebook has been messed up.
Yep.
And don't forget, next week we will not be on. And we will come back the following week, I think, if we're not out of town. But yeah, again, thank you for AFGE Local 515 yesterday in Miami for having us and everybody that attended.
Yep.
A big shout out to Dr. Henry and Dr. Giuliani in Miami. They did a great job getting the patients worked in. And again, Redondo Beach will be there next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the office. Thursday we leave. We have some personal things to take care of there. And then we'll be back again. And we'll see you guys then. So sorry, guys.
All right, we're not that sorry, but Mark Zuckerberg is. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a nice night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.